Happy fall, y'all! We're going to be making some leaf art in class this week. We've been talking about artists like Andy Goldsworthy, who uses leaves to create art out in nature. And so today we have collected a few leaves outside, and we're going to study those and see how they're the same and different. And we're going to use those as our inspiration for our artwork today using a watercolor, a wet into wet technique. Alright, right here, we're going to start by looking at the veins in the leaf, how they go right up the middle, how we've got some that come out to each side. Look at the edges. These are kind of a zigzag line, and that's what we're going to start drawing today. We'll start with just a straight line up and down in the middle of our paper. We're going to use our Sharpie to make some of these lines that come out from the sides. Diagonal line, diagonal line, diagonal line, going all the way up this beautiful vertical line that we have. Now when we look at this one closely, we can see that it's bigger at the bottom and it's smaller at the top, and the edge is a zigzag. So we're going to start here not all the way at the bottom. We want to have a little stem just like this, so we'll come up just a little bit, go zigzag, 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 and we're going to try to keep ours bigger at the bottom and get very skinny at the top. We'll do the same thing on this side, try to make it look symmetrical with that line. And see how we're just going around everything that we did before? And it comes to a nice point right there at the top. Now this is the fun part. This is what I really wanted to show you. We're going to do a wet into wet watercolor technique. So first I just have plain, clear, clean water, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to paint all around the edges. I'm not going to paint the leaf. Dry leaf. This leaf will still be white when we're all done. So all we're doing right now is painting invisible. Just clear, clean water all around the edges. And you can tell where you've painted by looking in the light. Just wiggle it around a bit. You can see it's kind of shiny. Alright, I'm going to be careful not to get inside the leaf, because everywhere that I put water, our paint is going to go in just a minute. So if I have water on the leaf, that means that we'll get color on the leaf, and we actually want to keep our leaves white for this project. So we're only painting the negative space around the edges right now. Our positive space in the middle, we're going to keep white. Alright, so now here's the fun part. We are going to add some watercolors around the edges. Now when you first start using watercolors, if they're all dry, you might have to wake them up a little bit by going, hello, wake up watercolors, put a little water on top of them, say it's time to go to work, here we go. Alright, so you see how I'm getting a whole lot on my brush? See how it's kind of orange? I'm going to take that and I'm just going to start painting. Now watch what happens. See how it goes whoosh, and it starts to fill in this area? That's the fun part. This is a wet into wet watercolor technique. Now if I want to add another color, I'm just going to rinse my brush. Maybe I'll try some red in here too. Look how much red I have in there. See all that? Now just drip, drip. You can just dot if you want. You can do some little wiggly lines. You can come into that other color you did before. You can really start to have some fun with this. Alright, maybe I want to try yellow. I think I'm just going to do the warm colors on this today, so that way it looks like a nice fall picture. Alright, I'll let those kind of blend into each other. Really have a good time with this. And remember, I'm going to keep my leaf white. Alright, one thing I do like to do, once I get a lot of color on here, is I like to come around the edge and just clean it up a little bit. All those zigzag lines I did before, I want to try to make sure that I get right up against the edge, and that will really pop out my leaf even more. Now I also want to show you, I see a little mistake that I made where I kind of got it in my leaf just a little bit right there. Maybe I didn't want to do that, but you can take a tissue, and you can do this for small mistakes, and just push on that spot, and it cleans it up just a little bit. That might help if you have that same problem. I see a few more right there. All right, we also want to check for ghosties. That's spots like this where I just left white paper showing. I want to make sure I really fill this in all the way to the edges. No ghosties allowed on this beautiful fall picture. All right, and that is how you do a wet into wet watercolor technique. One thing that's kind of cool that you could also do is sprinkle salt on this. Would give you an interesting texture, or you could take a paper towel and you can dab, dab, dab just a little bit. Might give you some fun textures as well.